Once again, welcome to the Brown Spade Podcast Show. Today is Sunday. This is Guy Talk 11. We got a special guest with us today, Mr. Rockstar. Okay, so I gotta say something about this, y'all. I gotta say something about this. We're gonna talk a little bit about the BET, then we're gonna talk a little bit about that, then we're gonna get to the main topic. But the main topic today is why men consider not getting married. Why men consider today in today's society not consider getting married. So today, let's talk about it. What's going on, fellas?
Morning.
What's happening?
We got a special guest in here, Mr. Rockstar. What's going on, brother?
How y'all doing?
We good.
Man, great, man. Can't complain. Up early on this beautiful Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's nice out. It's nice outside. I was just looking at that, like, oh, man.
Yeah. So, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself formally?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the rock star. All right, I'm into this.
Let me say this. Let me introduce him because
go ahead, brother.
He's family basically. I've been knowing him about 7 years.
Yeah,
about 7, 8 years. I met him through a mutual friend, and he's one of the younger guys out of the crew of truck drivers.
That's what's up.
And we all just we get on the phone and we talk about everything. So I had to bring him on because he's one of the younger guys, out of our crew, and he ladies, he's single, and no kids. Stock is going up every year. His stock is going up every year. I told him, I said, man, listen, man, you are a rare breed, brother. You are a rare breed. But yeah, that's the star, Rockstar.
All right. So before we get into the main topic, I'm gonna start off with this. I did not watch the BET awards. I didn't watch it. I don't watch crap like that no more. But because we in this platform and we come across stuff like that, man, I tell you what, man, I miss the old Lil' Kim. I miss her. Now, do y'all recognize her?
That don't look like my.
What's up, Johnny?
Hey, look, it's funny because somebody posted a picture of her beside the leprechaun.
Right.
And
so this where. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was gonna say the sad part is, man, Lil' Kim, like back in the days when we was growing up, it was like three women that was, everybody just was in love with, and she was one of them, especially in the rap industry because we didn't have a lot of, female rappers.
Right.
She was like the queen of hip hop at the time.
My thing is, I saw her, I watched this performance because I need to talk more about it. And the first thing I said is, do she have on some damn shoulder pads? Right?
Hey,
And I know because I'm old enough to know the original Little Kim, what she looked like. And she was a beautiful young lady back in her day. And now you see all this altercation thing like around the hips, man. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. So I asked myself, I'm saying, is this it gotta be some addiction to this plastic surgery stuff.
it
There
is.
has to be some form of addiction. When you get one thing done, it's something else. And from that point, you just lose it. It gotta be.
And you know the craziest thing, man, how they come up with excuses of why they getting all this surgery. Like one person said that she had she was in an abusive relationship, and he said she was in an abusive relationship, so that's why she got the surgery done to her face. I said, well, apparently he was the only abusing her face. He was abusing her butt too, because what the hell? Like, why did she do that to her body?
That's an excuse. That's an excuse. The thing is, she didn't like her. She didn't like her African nose. For her, it was too wide. It didn't fall upon the classifications of beauty by European standards. So she did not like herself. She was wrestling with some things. It was some insecurities, and most women deal with insecurities. Even the beautiful ones, they deal with insecurities. That's the reality.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go forward. Let me get her off here. I just thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy. All right, so let me get on this thing here. So, did y'all hear the thing about Steven Jackson?
The basketball player?
Right. No.
No.
Yes. No. Okay.
No.
Anyway, he took a trip to Chicago. Not only did he take a trip to Chicago, he went into one of the neighborhoods where one of the gangsters, that famous notorious place is called O Block.
I did hear about this.
Now, I heard about it first before I saw it, and then when I saw it, I was so disappointed.
Is he from the hood? Is he from the hood?
He's from Texas, and he may be from a hood in Texas.
He is.
Yeah, he's from Texas. Yeah, the name of the I know the name of the block, John. I know it's called O Block. I'm aware. But the thing is, well, let me just let you see it, and then you get a chance to put your input. But let me say this first and foremost, Steven Jackson. This is not again, you're a grown man. You can do what the hell you want to do. Let me say that. But sometimes I see you trying to put out a positive message, and I just don't feel like this was one of those positive messages. That's my opinion. All right, so y'all check this out.
Pull up and take pictures and y'all not allowed to. And one thing about it, if you're a real one, you don't mind checking in. Checking in? What'd you say? I check in with the real one. That's why I'm in the middle of O Block. Where you at? You see the hoop? Where you at? I'm in the middle of O Block, nigga. Fuck you mean? Listen, man. Where the people speak, you know what I'm saying? Where the real people speak, man. Shit you can't pay for.
Shit you can't pay for.
Shit you can't pay for. Fuck you mean? We really out here. O Block, Chi-Town, nigga. Rest in peace, King Kong, nigga. We in the middle of O Block, ain't we? What's playing, man? I'm everywhere, you never there.
All right. I don't know if y'all can see clearly, but he had on all his jewelry with his diamond glistening and all that good, pretty stuff. But the thing about that was, it was the message. It was the message that you sent. So you're saying, yeah, we out here. Now I'm looking at a man who's 44 years old. He's half of these young men age. And he's out here talking, he's talking like he's still grimy, like he's still in the streets, you know. And that's the problem that I have with black men making a transition out of the hood. Because why is it that I'm not saying don't go visit the hood? That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you can't continue. We're supposed to evolve as men, so you can't continue acting that way if you're trying to convey a positive message. I remember a few months ago, I think he called himself a Muslim. He had on all this long dashiki stuff. So I'm like, I'm confused. I'm confused, you know. Yeah, he may be from a hood from Texas. I mean, I'm from a hood from Atlanta, but just because I'm from a hood from Atlanta don't mean I gotta go out here and put my jewelry. What is he trying to prove? He's a millionaire. What is he trying to prove? So later, he came out a few days ago, maybe yesterday. I don't know exactly what day, because he got so much backlash from this. It's a bad look from a 44-year-old man going into the hood, flashing his jewelry, talking about he checking in like he's some type of, you know, like he's still about the streets and he's a millionaire from playing basketball. But something is wrong with us, and I talk to Cleveland a lot. We talk almost every day, and one of the things I'm always that put a bitter taste in my mouth is, you know, we don't want to grow up. Black men don't want to grow up. We want to stay fucking young, and this shit is killing us. So that's my take on that. And my question to both of you: did you see how he had all his jewelry? I don't know if y'all can see that.
Yeah, I seen it.
Okay.
I seen it.
But anyway, what's y'all take on it, man? One at a time, man. Go ahead, brother.
Right, you want to speak on it? I can go first.
Go first, because I got a couple things.
Let me say this. When going back to the hood should always be a positive thing. When you bring,
hold on, I forgot one more thing. So, but because of the backlash, he said, "Yeah, I when I went there, I gave back." You probably gave back after the fact, because he didn't say that while he was out there. He came back and did a second video days later. Go, yeah, I gave back to a toy drive to the old block. Da 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 da. Now,
why he didn't show that? Why he didn't show that?
That's my point. That lets you know that, yeah, I'm not denying that he didn't give money. I think I want to, don't quote me, play it. If you can play it back, the joker say I gave $1,000. Now I'm not even talking about how much the money is. That's irrelevant. But initially, that was not your message.
Yeah. Why not? Because the thing, if you going back,
Mike, what's good?
If you going back, you should be going back to give back something positive. You should not be giving back the hood. I'm strong, I'm tough, I'm rough, because he's been known to you know, be affiliated with gangs as well, you know, because he's supposed to have been something. I forget whether it's Blood or Crip. He claimed that on a regular. But why?
But at 44 years old.
And bring. You know, instead of us elevating, why are we going back and bringing the same energy that's already there? Like, you showing jewelry, you showing money, you showing all this stuff that is already killing our neighborhood. But that's what you go back to give. Because think about it, guys who be on there, they be showing money. They might show $100, $1,000, but you're a millionaire, and you go in there showing jewelry that's probably more than what them guys make a year.
Yep.
Why? To me, that makes it look like you showing off.
Right.
And we see what have happened to people who show off and they're around people who's not making what they're making or want what they got. They killing them. But go ahead, Rock.
Okay, so yeah, you say he's in his 40s, right?
44.
He's 44.
He's 44. Okay, so maybe he's at that stage where, he made a little money now. He got a little money now. So maybe he's at that stage where he's bored because he's made this money. And when you get bored in our community, you start thinking, I ain't gonna say crazy thoughts, but you have those thoughts that run through your mind. Like, do I still got this? Can I still do this? So you be like, oh, let me prove it to myself, or prove it, period. Or somebody will say something, and then you'll be like, man, I can still do that. So maybe one of his partners said something about visiting the hood. So maybe that's where this came from. I don't know. I wasn't there. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Me personally, if that was me with all that money, what I would have done was grab one of my people. All right, listen, we finna hit O Block. Everybody, finna hit O Block. I'll be there 10-15, such. Everybody bring your light bill or your phone bill or something like that, or bought some toys for the kids. I mean, that's just me though. Everybody don't think like that.
Right.
I was having a conversation with, all right, that'll be a lie. I can't remember who I was having a conversation with. But if every Black athlete, actor, producer just got together and let's say started a bank with $1 million. Everybody put $1 million in, or 100,000, something like that. And you can go down and get you a loan for this business you're trying to start, food truck. I know a lot of brothers trying to do a lot of things right now. And if they got together and did something like this and made it better for us. Matter of fact, I was talking to Cleve. Today is Friday, and we was talking about the loan situation. How he went to apply for a loan and he didn't get because he was Black. And which is terrible, by the way. And I think, I guess I got off subject now. But
yeah, you got off subject. Let's get back on subject.
He is trying to prove something to himself that necessarily he didn't need to prove. I ain't gonna say he was showing off, but it just came off like that because we checking in because I wasn't the person to put it on Facebook, or was it Instagram? I don't know. I wouldn't have put it on there. I just would have went in, hung out, and got the hell on. Because most of the time when you do stuff like that anyway, it's gonna wind up being on the news. Because last time Lil Baby did it in West End, it was all over the news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my bad for getting off subject. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Mine was a little excited.
No, it's a bad. It sends off a bad message. For one of the main killers in our community is materialism. So by him walking into a impoverished neighborhood with his jewelry on, like just flooded with jewelry, that's the wrong place for the jewelry. And it just make people want to do it. Makes poor people want to be more criminalized to try to get to this status, because most of these young men and young ladies, they don't have skill sets. They don't have the proper education. And so all they know is this. So to me, he's not showing the positive side of what can be when he displayed it that way. And he went out there at night. Yeah, I'm out here. Like he's about that life. And not to mention, he put himself in harm's way. What if the so-called ops came by and just sprayed the place up? I mean, what?
That's the thing. Now, dudes looking at him like.
So, but it was a bad taste. I just think it was very distasteful. Like I said, he tried to counter it with coming back somebody he donated to the kids or whatever. I just thought it was a bad look. You're a mid-aged man. You done had your time in the sun. You done made your money, and he has a great success story. Very, very intelligent guy, but that was a very unintelligent move. So let's move forward. The main subject is why men today consider not getting married. So before I open up the table, I just want to say, let me show the stacks here. Hold on a second. I would please. Okay, so in America, almost 50% of all marriages in the United States will end in divorce or separation. Researchers estimate that 41% of all marriages end in divorce. All right. So this is Americans in general. This is not the black community. This is Americans across the board. So let's talk about it, guys. Why is it that men today consider not getting married?
I start off because so what was that? It was the beginning of the week, and I ran into a young man. I think he was 24, 25. And I was having a conversation with him, and he was saying that marriage, he said marriage and having kids, is overrated. He said he don't see doing it. He said not in the States anyway, not in the States anyway. And I'm like, why? What's going on? Why wouldn't you? Why you feel that way? And he told me, he said, well, men don't benefit from getting married or having kids in our country. I said, okay, well, elaborate more. He said, well, growing up, he was in the house with his mother and father. He said when he turned about, I think he was about 10, 11, I think he said that his mother and father separated and then they got a divorce. And he said, and what I seen my father go through, what I seen my uncle go through, what I seen a lot of the men in my family go through a divorce, he said was bad. He said, because for one, he said, my mother never worked. My father took care of everything. He said, and when they got a divorce, she came out big because my father ended up, paying child support and paying for the lifestyle that she was living.
Right.
He said, and on top of that, my mother made my father look like the bad guy. And he said, of course, my father, in order for him to keep living the lifestyle he was living and pay child support and take care of the lifestyle that my mother was living, he had to work more and more and more and more. So when it came down to it, I didn't get a chance to see my father at all. He was like a weekend dad that was really not weekend dad, because even when I did get a chance to see him, it was like we was rushing to try to put everything into 2 days, which we used to do every day.
Right.
And so he said, so as he grew up, he started seeing his friends, they start getting divorced. They mother and them start getting a divorce from their father. He said he just hearing the stories about what the father's going, from the family turning on the dad because of what the mother's saying about the child, saying about him. He said, even though my father broke his back to try to see me and do all the things he was doing, he said he caught hell. He said he just caught hell. He said my uncles caught hell, my friends' fathers, all of them caught hell. He said then on top of that, society turns the kids against the man. He said, and I'm not saying that that everybody gets a divorce. He said, but statistically, he said it shows that this is what it's going to end up at. He said, so why would I get married? Why would I put myself through that? And I said, well, I told him, I said, let me put it like this. I said, when you have kids, and you want your legacy and everything to live on. You want your legacy to live on. You want your name to carry on. He said, but it's a possibility that that's not going to happen. And I said, well, why you say that? He said, because for one, let's say you have a son, right? He said, and you know, you get a divorce, you have a son. He said, you're not in your child's life the way you should be. So guess what? Society is going to raise your child. He said, it's a possibility that my son, who I want to carry on my legacy, may not even have kids. He may decide to date men. He said, so now guess what? My legacy stops right there. He said, and I have no control of even saying anything or even raising my child because society's telling me your dad ain't worth a damn. He said, so where does my legacy go then? He said, it dies when I die.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wow. I said, well, let me put it like this. I said, and I explained to him what I went through. I said, you know, I went through a divorce, my first marriage, went through a divorce and everything. I said, but I looked at it and I said, my next marriage, my next relationship is going to be totally different. And I explained to him, I said, let me explain to you what I did. I said, the woman that wife now, I said, we didn't date until like a year and a half after, you know, just being around each other, just being friends. I said, but during that whole time, I was paying attention to how she was moving, you know, just, and I would ask her, like, you know, we talked about who she looked up to. And one of the people she looked up to was her grandmother. And when I first met, well, her great grandmother. And when I met her, I seen how she treated me as a man. When I walked in the door, she wanted to make sure you need anything to drink, you need anything to eat. Like, she catered to me as soon as I hit the door because she was a traditional woman. And when my wife told me she looked up to her, at the time we were just friends, but when I noticed that's who she looked up to, then I said, who else you look up to? She said, I look up to my mother and my aunt. And guess what? Her mother and her aunt also looked up to their great grandmother. So, like, how the grandmother treated me was one of the reasons why I decided to date my wife now, because she understood of what Black men go through in this world, and she understood that when he comes in this house, when he comes in my presence, I'm gonna make sure that he is gonna not have no stress, and I'm gonna make sure that he is good when he comes into my house, when he's in my presence. And that is a very, very, very important characteristic that us men need to look for. Who do the person that you're dating, who the person that you with, who do they look up to? Because that will tell you a lot about how they're gonna be, how they move, you know. And I told him, I said, so when you go out here dating, looking for your mate, that's what you need to look for. Like, who does she look up to, and how do they morals stand up? What do they morals look like?
Right.
But he was like, nah, I can't see date. He said, so what he's gonna do, he said he's gonna date outside of America. He said, because these are American values that we're dealing with when it comes to, you know, to dating, getting married. He was like, hell, I mean, people get married and then, you know, just decide I don't like the way he dressed no more. I want a divorce. And he was like, because the thing is, women, you know, he's like, they lead the country in, you know, in pretty much divorce. They 80%.
Got something to say on that, Rockstar, before I begin?
Oh, plenty. That's why I had to go get the beverage. So for me.
Well, hold on. Before you start, so I know you gave your story, but my I guess, and I want both of you guys to answer the question. You can give me a story, that's fine, but still answer the question. Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. Would you refer to today's man to get married in today's society, Cleve? Let's go to both of you, but Cleve go first because Cleve already gave his story.
I would say yes, and the reason why I say yes, if you understand your purpose and you understand where you stand as a man in today's society, and you feel like you can lead a family or lead a household, then yes. But you got to be on your purpose. You can't be out here trying to figure it out. You got to be on your purpose. That meaning, and it's gonna take you to get really to your purpose in your 40s. Really?
So yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say yes. I would say yes. How about
Okay.
it?
All right, and I want Rockstar. You answer the question, and then you can go ahead into your opinion on this subject. Would you recommend
I'm not
being
gonna-
married in the United States of America in today's society?
In okay, that would go with the clarification. Hell no. I'm sorry. I apologize. So
No, you fine, brother.
the reason that I say that, I remember when I was in my 20s, right? And one thing about me is that I love Chevrolets, Harley Davidsons, and black women. For real, like I got a thing. Like, oh my God. But with that aside, so unfortunately, when I was in my 20s, right, I remember I was on this date with this young lady, and there were married people in the building. We were like waiting to get seated, and I think she went to the restroom. I can't remember, but anyway, so I asked. It was like 5 gentlemen there with their wives. I said, "Excuse me, sir," and it was like, "Yeah." I said, "Are you married? Is that your wife?" And he was like, "Yes." I was like, "How long y'all been married?" You know, I think the longest one was like 20-some years or something like that. I said, "Can I ask you a question?" And, you know, look around like, "Yeah, what's up?" So I was like, in this time that y'all have been married, has this woman said, I appreciate you for being a great father to our children. I love you, and I really respect you, and thank you for everything that you've ever done, other than it not being your birthday or Father's Day. And he looked at that woman, all of them now, not just one, all of them looked at that woman, look back at me and like dropped their head, was like, "Nah, man, that ain't never happened." And I thought to myself, you do not get the appreciation that, number one, you deserve. I feel that could be a little wrong, but I feel if you marry, I know with me, I love hard. Like, I put every woman that I ever been in a relationship with, mind you, I only been in 5, on a pedestal. This is since high school, on a pedestal, and I try to carry myself in a certain way. I consider myself as a king, without the everything else. But it's a little rough, man. It's a little rough because I honestly, today's society has really truly messed us up as a people. In my opinion, it's just my opinion, and it's very saddening and heartbreaking at the end of the day, because in 1903, marriage was a very big thing. When we were in captivity, it was a very big thing. It was jumping the broom. You know what I'm saying? And damn, I'm about to start crying. I'm about to start crying. Seriously, this is heartbreaking. This is very heartbreaking. Just me thinking about it even more.
Well, I think a lot of young men are not.
I haven't went yet.
Oh, go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead.
Wait, I wasn't finished.
Yeah, he wasn't finished. Yeah, I was waiting on him to finish.
So even like, okay, so when he was talking about his friend and seeing how and seeing how his friends' fathers. Anyway, so when I was growing up, right, I was the only child with a single single mother in the neighborhood. Everybody else had their mother and their father. And as time went on, the fathers were disappearing with the divorce, women keeping the houses, but I know why. Now I know why, because that man wanted to make sure that his children were in a very good location. Could be. I don't know. I ain't really actually, a couple of them passed. And believe it or not, only out of all them families, 2 of them are still married and together. Damn, that's deep. So it's very saddening, heartbreaking. Seriously, it literally is. And I think that I ain't gonna say social media and rap music is to blame, but we need some help. We honestly do need some help. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with asking for help, but damn. Whew. I'm done. I'm done. I'm about. If y'all see some water coming from my eyes, there's something in them. Okay.
I was saying that I would, in today's society, in the United States of America, I would not recommend for any man to get married in today's society unless society change. And I'm gonna tell you why. Well, I just showed you statistics, so you got a 50-50 chance. The arts, not only are the arts are against you, but if the divorce happens to come, in most cases, men tend to lose more. So the laws are against men. So can you imagine a man who worked 20 years, 30 years, some even 40 years, and now all of a sudden this person wants a divorce, and they lose their life investment on those things, whether there's homes, cars, alimony, child support. It's the odds are against you. You losing so much. If that word divorce come down in your life, and if you have things, you could lose a lot of it. And I wanted to. I was waiting till you finish your story too, Cleve, about the guy was sharing his story about what if, and talking about his legacy or whatever. But the thing is, and I'm gonna say this also, I don't believe in what ifs. You can't live off what ifs. What if his son turned gay? You can't live like that. If you want children, have children. Now, once when they become an adult, then they decide to do what they want to do, you have no control. That's unforeseen. You can have a straight adult, and then all of a sudden they have a car wreck and die. So you can't say a whole bunch of what ifs. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I don't want to live. I choose not to live like that. All I could do is give my child my values, my morals. And then from that, they're going to have to decide their own way when they reach to a certain point in their life. This is the evolution of man. But I would not recommend that. If I recommend it, I would recommend it out of the country, if necessary. But in the States, as of right now, the odds are against you. And I feel like that most men are smartening up, because these laws are so one-sided. It's crazy, because a lot of sisters, like I say, whether it's directly or indirectly, these feminists done push the agenda so bad that now young men say, hell no, I'm not going through that. I'm not. Why am I going to have to pay this woman the rest of my life and she no longer love me? It makes no sense. But if we just go together, if we just coexist in this apartment or this house, then hey, whatever I paid for, I take my way. Whatever you paid for, you take your way. And so they've been pushing this agenda so much they don't realize that they have pushed away that one of those values, which is called marriage. They push the man away. The man is turning away from it now. The man don't want to be a part of it. You know, me and Cleveland, we like the last of the Mohicans, you know, when it comes to that. But these younger guys, they don't see nothing in it. They like, there's nothing in it for me. And I understand their mindset. I understand their fear. Like you also said, Rockstar, you seen guys get burned. You know, they got burned throughout the years. You done put all this time, energy in something, and all of a sudden somebody just pulled the plug from you, man. That's not a great feeling, because how can you start over? How can you start over at 50? How can you start over at 60? You know,
it's hard. It's very
right.
It's got to be hard.
And one more thing I say, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna table back open. And I think one of our biggest problem is we try to line our society according to what's going on in the world of Hollywood. And I think that's one of our biggest problems, because with them, what people don't understand is, what poor people and working class people don't understand is, when those rich people in Hollywood get a divorce, everybody still live just fine. When J-Lo and Alex Rodriguez broke up, guess what? Didn't nobody lights get turned off. Didn't nobody have to go get an extra job. Didn't nobody, you know what I'm saying? She still
prenuptial agreement. Prenuptial agreement.
No, but that depends on the state though. That could get tricky too.
Seriously?
Yes.
Because if you have a prenuptial, depending on the state, if you got caught guilty of messing around, then you voided the contract.
And you voided, yeah. If you get caught cheating, then
regardless of what that contract, you voided the contract. You did not hold up. You did not withhold.
Wait, cheating is like actually sleeping with somebody, or you got caught out on a date.
If you're proven, in court that you had an affair, I'm not the judge. I can't tell you what the judge gonna say. Is it kissing panties down the ankles? I can't tell you that part. I can't tell you that part.
I got.
But what I will say, that it's I see why young guys shy away from it in today's society. Let's see what Self-Made got here. Can a man reach a full potential and be a great husband or father? He can. It's hard as hell in today's society. In America, I would say no right now, because you got these so-called independent women. They so independently driven, they forget about family. They put their self first. They're very selfish. So I would say no on that end. Then you got these other groups. They want to support them. So everybody pushing their agenda, but ain't nobody pushing the agenda of family. So if you're not talking about family, why you ain't even thinking about marriage?
And when you ask about family, about family, it doesn't include the man. It includes the child and the mother.
I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you 2,000%. And I'm gonna say this right here. I got married the second time out of the country, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm speaking from my experience. I knew that I wasn't gonna get back married again in the United States. Now, I luckily escaped that marriage and didn't have to pay a damn dime. I luckily got out of that one. You know, the stars lined up for me that day. But man, I wouldn't go do that again. Not in the United States.
You know what that young man said to me too? He said that once a woman, I said, so what about having? I said, so you wouldn't want to have kids? He said, listen, once you have a child with a woman, he said, you're not the priority no more, not at all. He said, you're not the priority. He said, you second to the child. He said, and then if she has a career, you're gonna be second to that too. And then he said, and he said, but you put everybody else first. You work hard to be able to put a roof over your head. You work hard to be able to drive the car. Y'all drive the car. He said, you put everybody first. He said, but you're gonna put the child in front of you, and she's gonna put a career in front of you if she has a career.
Yeah.
But he's going off of people around him experience.
But I agree with Self-Made, and you know, and to sum it up, what Self-Made saying, yeah, you have to be You have to be a little selfish. You have to.
Yes.
I talked to Cleve before, and I told him, I said, man, I've learned because of my first marriage, I put everybody before me. I put everybody before me. I worked my ass.
You know what? I wouldn't mind my child being ahead of me, because when the child is born, of course it needs, the nurturing from the mother.
That's different.
That's different.
Of course, that child got an immediate need. I'm with you on the baby part, but even then, when that child get a certain point, you still got to have still some selfishness within yourself, because it's called self-preservation.
So Rock, let me tell you what that looks like when one of the ways when a woman puts the child in front of you. You tell the child to do something. You go back and tell the mother that you told him to do something. The question.
No. But listen. This is why I wanted to be married before I had children, so we could discuss how we're gonna bring these children up, because children are very manipulative. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm sorry. Manipulated. They'll manipulate the hell out of your ass. Right. Y'all got kids.
So that's what I'm saying, Rock. When that's what I was saying. Like it's you don't want. It's different when a woman, wants to provide for the child. Of course, she's gonna make sure that the child eats. Because a child can't defend for themselves. So when
not if I did it first.
When a child can't defend for themselves, then of course the mother's gonna, put that first. But when I'm talking about what like I say, I gave you example how a child, will ask the dad say no, she go ask the mother come back to you and say, well, so wants this. Why?
It's supposed to be if the child went to the mama and asked the mama something, what did your daddy say? Or if the child went to the daddy and went to the mama, went to the daddy and the daddy's supposed to be like, what your mama say? Right. You see what I'm saying? And you have to be on one accord when it comes to a child. That's why I was like, hell no.
But the child thing. But the child thing is really the child thing is one element, but most of these divorces are not stemming from the child. Don't get me wrong, those problems do exist, but these problems exist because, these women, they wake up one day and just feel like shit, They don't
like the way you dress no more.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
and just like that, with them changing their mind, it changed your whole freaking life.
Because
I don't think that's what it is. I could be wrong. Your friends have a very big influence when it comes to a woman on your relationship, which is, in my opinion, a little weird, because I get it. As a woman and as a man, the same sex, y'all have a understanding because of life struggles. But I feel like the problem is nobody can be honest and talk to a significant other. Like, listen, I don't like your beer. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that you pay for dinner with the Visa card instead of the MasterCard. You see what I'm saying? I don't like the way you open the car door. Well, they just can't be honest about certain things. And it really, well, I don't know about y'all. With me, I feel like you can tell me anything. If you got a problem with something, I did.
My question to you is, why do you think these divorces rates are so high?
That's a good question. I've never been married, and I never know.
But you have an opinion.
Most divorce. The reason for most divorce is finance.
Finances?
Yeah, finance.
I can see that.
Yeah, because everybody think it's cheating, but no, it's finance. It's finance.
I can honestly see that. I remember not this one, but the ex before that one. Like, I was trying to get my finances together, and when I say I was catching double hockey sticks times 87, double hockey sticks times 87. So it was a little rough for me. And I even told her, like, I didn't want money to be the situation, money to be the reason we separated. And that's kind of wound up what happening because I mean, as a man, when your money ain't flowing, you get in your feelings a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you bending over backwards trying to make this thing happen and you still getting punched in the face. But you know, that's what makes a man out of you, you know, because you be like, all right, after you've been through so much, it's like something gonna happen and you're gonna be like, well, it happens. Let's fix it. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But when you're young and you don't have the proper guidance and the understanding that things are gonna happen and you just gotta deal with it, it can do some things to you, you know, and that's terrible that money determines a relationship. That is honestly terrible. But being black, in these parts, money is like air because you need money. You gonna need money, and don't nobody want to live with roaches in poor conditions. But if you're in a relationship,
money definitely is one of the issues with marriages. It is, but like I said, I think men, I don't see anything wrong with wanting to get married. But like you were saying, Daniel, in today's society, you know, men come out, they get the bad end of the stick. That's why I said you gotta know your purpose, man. You gotta know your purpose in basically.
Even if you know your purpose, Cleve, it still can you be doing everything right.
I'm not talking about just knowing your purpose. I'm talking about knowing your purpose and knowing what the woman that you want to be with, what her purpose is. That's the kicker. Men, you could be on your purpose, but if your woman, the woman you with, she don't know her purpose in your life, and she don't know the purpose of your family, or y'all building and being together.
Thank you for your comment, Miss Sister Simmons. Miss Sister Simmons. Thank you for chiming in. So in today's society, this is another question. What do you think that can make marriage better?
Understanding.
One, communication. Two, understanding what family looks like. And three, understand your role in the household. Like we don't even like the word role. Like especially women, they don't like the word role. They don't want to be a wife. They don't want to be a wife. And you got men who don't want to be a husband. They don't want to do things that men do.
Hello, Miss Carter.
That husbands do. And you got women who don't want to do things that their wives do. They want to switch roles and flop roles, and I want a modern man. I mean, I want a traditional man, but I want to be a modern woman. I want to be a traditional. I want to be a modern man with a traditional woman. Like it's just no. Y'all all got to be on the same path. Y'all got to be on the same path and have the same understanding. Everybody has a role in that household. Everybody. Morning, Miss Carter. Everybody has a role in that household.
Right.
And if everybody understands their role in that household, I don't care if it's a modern household or a traditional household. If everybody's on that same element, everybody's on that same understanding, then it will work. But you can't be picking and choosing what that looks like. Communication. Y'all gotta communicate.
I think that the modern woman in today's society. That don't include you, Sister Simmons. You one of us. We one of the Generation X. That don't include you. We talking about these little modern women out here. You know what I'm talking about. I think they have no idea what marriage consists of. Just like Sister Yolanda said, she said that marriage is a commitment to one another. It's a covenant. That is true. Marriage is a sacrifice. And you have to be unselfish. You have to be. And if you want to share your life with somebody, you cannot be a selfish person. Now you may have some selfish moments, but you can't be a selfish person. Two different things. Selfish men and women are not candidates for marriage. I agree. I absolutely agree.
And all this strong independent does not say family.
And right, and they push it. That's what I'm saying. That whole ideology, I'm a strong black woman and all this. What does that say? What does that mean at the end of the day? What does that mean?
Independent. If you put independent on it, it doesn't say family.
That means you got an education. What does that mean? Because and the reason why I asked this question, and I'm not attacking the sisters, I'm just being honest. You guys are the only ones saying stuff like this. There's Asian women with education that's independent. There's white women that's educated and independent. There's Indian women that's educated, independent. There's other different ethnic groups out here that are single, female, independent, and doing their thing, but they don't talk like that. And they cherish family. Even though they're single, they still cherish family.
Yes.
So, first of all, Cleve, when you write about something, you're right. I was at an event 2 weekends ago, I believe it was. And it was his brother. He was from Miami. And he had, I believe she was Cuban. I'm gonna say she was Cuban. I could be wrong. I didn't really speak with her. But I was just like, watching. And the way that she was conducting herself was like, I was like, damn, Cleve might be on or something. Like he ain't lying about this, because the way that this woman was treating the gentleman, I was like, Cleve has a point. Because I was impressed. Like how when you go out and y'all might be in a group setting and she's interacting with everyone or interacting with the people y'all with, the way she was interacting was cool, but she wasn't like doing too much. She wasn't doing too much. Let's just say that. And I was just like, that's kind of impressive. Like maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know, but I was just impressed by the way she was with the group and how she was treating him at the same time. The way she was juggling it was impressive, should I say?
But it's the same thing with like I see a lot of times women be out with their man or whatever, and you can't even tell they're a couple. You can't even tell they're a couple from the man and the woman's side. Just the energy, the communication, the affectionate is not there. But if you look at them women out with, because I hear women all the time, they talk about they'll be affectionate with the right man, but they are always affectionate with their child. They are always affectionate with their child. I don't give a damn what setting it is. And it's the same thing. Most of us men, we would love to have the love from our mothers that our mothers would give us. We would love to have that from our wives. We just wouldn't. And I didn't see that until I got with my wife now, because and at first I was like, this affection thing out in public I was like, I don't know about this. But then I started seeing other race of people, men, women, and I said, yes, I like that. I want that. That's what I want. Because that's the affection I would get from my mother out in public. Hug me, hold me, kiss me, hold my hand, acknowledge me, all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is what I want, and so my wife, that's what she would give me. That's what she would do to me. you know, and I'm like, yes, okay, I do like this. This is something I do want. You know, this and that's very important. It is important.
But
Like,
Cleve,
like the other person is together.
but the key thing you said though, Cleve, is this. The point that people may miss is this. Your wife is in her to be affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody not affectionate. So you kind of deprive yourself, or we've deprived ourselves for being in a relationship with somebody who's not affectionate.
Well. Most women are affectionate to something. It might be a damn dog. It might be a damn dog. They might hey, and then they see their husband be like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know what I'm saying? I've seen that. I've been at a person's house and they come in the house. The dog go crazy. They kiss the dog, hug the dog, and see their husband be like, "Hey, baby, did you cut the grass? Did you take out the trash?" I'm like, God damn, why the husband ain't get the same thing the dog just got? Or they see they and kiss their child as soon as they see their child. Ooh, and then they see their husband, or they see their wife, and they like, "Hey, babe."
Yeah.
And keep it moving. When I hit the door, you know, my wife, she expects for me to, as soon as I hit the door, she expects me to hug her, kiss her, greet, you know, acknowledge. As soon as I come in the door, she's there. She wants that effect. She wants that communication. She wants it.
Right.
You know, and that's important. Like
it's very important. It's very important.
It's stuff that simple that we take for granted. That we don't
yeah. But I'm telling you, man, those a lot of those relationships, they don't get it. You know, they don't get it to show that affection and those emotional. Those things are it's like fuel, you know. And those that not getting it, man, they running on E. They running on E.
And that's why I said when you're dating a woman, you yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, hey, Miss Card, I'm telling you, and I'm not trying to bash my ex. I'm not. I was the same. I was in relationship when I was married. The same way I was getting deprived of. I mean, the sexual part was there, but the affection wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like Cleveland said, the holding hands, the small things, holding hands, kissing, even saying the word "I love you." And I remember, so I realized that I was dealing with a problem. So I was trying to solve the problem. I said, well, let me get down to the root of this. You know, why is it so hard, you know, for my ex to say, I don't love you? I went to the mother. Man, when I talked to the mother, when I talked to my ex-mother-in-law, she broke down crying. She cried. And I'm talking about, as soon as I asked that question, she just started crying. And she said that her mother didn't tell her that. So the problem is deeper than we think. And sometimes we want people to give us things that they really can't give because it's never been showed, it never been displayed.
And that's why I said what I said when I said find out who the person you date, whatever. Find out who they.
You gotta track that root down. That root. Trace your root.
They look up to. Find out who
the
they
root.
look up to, and who, if it's possible, you can find out who they look up to, who that person look up to.
But it's also according to Cleve, you gotta know. You gotta know this. You gotta know the history.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know the history. You know, you gotta know that story. A basic story, not everything going to be like, you know, graphic details, but you got to have a basic story, narrowing it all the way down to the woman that you are pursuing, or you know, that you're considering spending the rest of your life with. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Daniel, you really just said something to hit home. Seriously,
talk to me.
So, when I was a child, I literally had to beg for hugs and kisses. Like I would just run up on my mama and hug her and kiss her. She wasn't the most affectionate woman,
right?
And I knew that when I got older, I would want affection. So
Right.
when you said that her mother wasn't
Yeah, my
wasn't that way with her,
ex-mother.
what I think may have been the problem, maybe the problem is that in the 30s, 40s, and all that, it was really rough for us as a people. And I guess they didn't want to raise weak children. And affection is a sign of weakness.
No, I mean you on the path to something, but we're gonna split it to fork. But go ahead, because we're gonna split. We're going down the same path. I was with you. I mean, now I'm gonna go this way with you.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I try to when there's a problem, I try to be not one-sided. You see what I'm saying? Put myself in the other person's shoes, because
right.
You know, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we want what we want. I get that, but honestly, like I said, I feel like it just may have been just the oppression.
Yes. Now we're back on track. Now we're back on track, and that's that. Now we're back on track. So what happens is, just let me intervene right now. So what happens is, yes. So those our grandparents and great grandparents, it wasn't that they was raising to be emotionless. They was just stern, because they didn't know they were sharecroppers. We talking about the evolution of Black America. We talk about you leaving from slavery to being sharecroppers. You out in the field, you ain't got time to show affection. It was all about work to the sun up to sundown. So I get that part. I understand that part. But I had to find out why that I was going through this with my ex-wife, because at the time I didn't understand it. Because even though my parents went through the same thing, my mother told me she loved me. Always expressed "I love you." That word was always said. So every Black person not going to have that same experience, but everybody don't handle situations the same. Now, something happened along with my ex-wife grandmother. Something happened in her life, or she didn't get that. So that's why she didn't display it. And I'm quite sure it got something to do with, you know, you just don't know. They were separating families, man. It was a hard life. It was a hard life. But at the same time, I can't live in that past, in that present time, and be content with that. I was emotionally starved. You know,
because you were used to getting it from your mother.
My mother give me a hug. Hey, I see my sister. I hug my sister, kiss my sister. Even to this day, you know, it's just something that went on in my house.
And that's how it was in my house. Like my mother, I mean, we loved each other. My brother and sisters, we talk all the time. We love you. Like, I mean, that's even to this day, when we go to my mother's house or whatever, we all and I didn't see it until somebody brought it to my attention. We all sit like right around up under my mother, like, or we all just be sitting right up under, you know what I'm saying, up under each other. That's the way we do. But that's the way my mother brought us up, to like, we family, you close.
I mean, but today,
my white family is the same way.
But I can tell you now, shit, I get all the emotion. My wife she'll grab my hand, and I don't even be thinking about the shit. We on our way to the store, so just reach out and grab my hand. We walking in the store, you know. It's nothing for that, nothing for me to hug her, whatever, you know. So now it's like I'm getting what I needed, right? What I was missing, right? So it's like now my cup is full, you know, and I'm that's a great feeling. It is.
And Danny, that's one of the reasons why, when talking to that young man the other day, I told him, I said, you know, what you want, you may not be able to find in America. It's here, but it's just
getting thin. It's getting thin.
I said, so yeah, you may want to travel outside the country. And no, not may. I said you should travel out the country. And he said that's what he's gonna do anyway. I'm
gonna tell you, I remember back in the day. I'm sorry, Clay. I remember back in the day, man, when jokers were looking for, I was a little boy, I used to hear, you know, the older guys. If they really wanted, trying to settle down, you know, because, you know, me being from the city and everything, you know, they would say, "Man, I'm gonna go get me a country girl." I used to hear people say that. I'm gonna go get me a country girl because they know that she still held those values, and they knew that the inner city woman, some of them got values, but again, they searching. So now let's press fast forward to where we are now. Man, it's hard to find something. You try to find something in the city of Atlanta.
Hey, look, they
Hey,
listen,
you don't know is a him or her. I mean, you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
listen, you can't even open up you can open
True.
up the door for
So true.
a woman, and she won't even say thank you.
Yeah, and that
Like,
doesn't
she
happen
won't
to me
even say thank you.
several times in Atlanta. I don't open.
She won't even say thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So it's crazy, man. So it's your chances are. This is just my opinion, you know, and I wouldn't in this modern time. Nah, I wouldn't be looking at America.
Rock, what did I tell you the other day? We was having a conversation. I told you, Rock. I said, bro, you need to
Get outside the U.S.
get outside the U.S. Travel. I said, because one thing about traveling, it'll tell you if you want to date, still continue to date in the U.S., or if you don't. And I promise you, you're gonna find your answer one way or another. You start traveling outside the country, you're gonna find your answer, because outside of the United States, they love black men.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Like I said, that thing 2 weeks ago.
I'm living it.
Well, congratulations about the baby, by the way, D.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And congratulations on the marriage too, by the way.
Thank you.
Very well. Yeah. When I got something in the work, so if some come, that something coming down that pipeline, I might not even be in the U.S. no more.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you this. My advice to you, brother, is be patient and take your time. It's coming. Don't even force your hand. Don't even force your hand. Just enjoy the journey of life. That's the best advice I can give you.
And keep, like I told you, keep building up. Your resume on as far as your work ethics and everything.
Yeah.
It'll pay off. It'll pay off in the long run.
Yeah. How old are you, man?
I don't think you're 40 yet. You young.
38.
Yeah.
38. Okay.
Look, you single, no kids.
Brother. Yeah, you winning right now. You at the top of the food chain. You don't even know it.
I know it. I know it, but I know it, but don't nobody else know it.
But listen, you know it, but go where it is appreciated.
Yeah, because see, right now, well, again, I'm not trying to bash sisters. I want to be clear, but some of y'all know y'all got them have them hidden agendas. Y'all some city slickers these days. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta call it like I see it. Man, I'm telling you right now, if you don't have a passport. That's my recommendation.
You really doing yourself a disservice. You got your passport. Disservice if you don't have a passport.
Yeah, you really. That's your next assignment.
And you don't have no kid.
You want to be a rock star. If you want me to call you a fucking rock star, get your passport.
I can go in my book bag right now and show you the picture that I took.
Okay,
I missed the appointment because of work. I overslept. Then I rescheduled and overslept again. So yes, I'm slipping. I will admit that. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm not perfect. Far from it.
That's your assignment, young man.
Hey, Rock, did I not tell you the same thing? I said, bro,
you did.
That is your assignment. You take a few trips, man, and when you get to each country, don't go one stop spot and just fall in love. go to at least 3 different places that's on your mind before. Don't just fall, because you go first place, you're gonna love it. Of course, you're gonna love it because it's different. But you once when you go, then ask yourself and be honest with yourself: can I exist in this environment? And then the next question is, if so, how?
Well, I would actually like to come down there and hang out with you, D. To be honest with you. I'm just being real. I mean, I don't know if you can get out and show me the scene or whatnot.
I'm not a partier. Let me say that.
Oh, okay. I mean, well, I like barbecues. I like barbecues too. You know,
Well, barbecue, that's an American thing. I mean, we do grill, but we don't. Barbecue is nigga shit. Nah, excuse me. Nah. We grill. They don't barbecue.
I mean, okay. So at the grill, it's like at least 50 people there. Do they do that? 50, like y'all invite friends and it'd be like 50 people.
50. It ain't. No, well, let me listen to me. Let me say this. First, we'll look at my schedule is 1, 2. Depends on where you're going. This is not a small country. This is a big country. It's bigger than what you think. It's 10 million people in this country.
Mm.
So, but I'm not a hookup network. I'm not on the Love Connection. But if you in the area and if I got time, I have no problem. I will say that.
I appreciate that. I ain't trying to come find a Love Connection. If something happens, something happens.
No. I have to be very clear because I mean, I've always had people to come to me and you know this? Do you know what about this? Your wife got a cousin? That type of shit. So
I got you.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So, and again, but I mean, if you want to come here, that's fine, man. Enjoy yourself. I have no problem with it. Again, if I have time, I could kick it with you for a few hours, but I am a family man, so I have to come back to my family.
See.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, man, but it's a beautiful place here. It's a beautiful place here. I mean, I ain't gonna front. It's beautiful here. I have only planes I can have is they small, and that's the way they drive. Cleveland, no, I tell myself every day that I'm not gonna curse on the road, and I've been cursing every day, every time I drive.
What? Because they drive so slow? Or?
No, they just drive, kind of reckless, close to you, and they don't follow.
They don't have
laws.
speed limits.
They don't have speed limits.
Oh,
yeah.
Look, you could drive.
You can drive right past the police station doing 200 miles an hour. Ain't nobody bothering you.
You could
Long
drive.
as you don't hit somebody. Now, when you hit somebody, that's when the problem comes. You ain't got to have
like hit somebody car or hit somebody.
Hit
somebody car, anything. Just don't hit nothing.
Long as you hold your lane and you don't hit.
Yeah,
nothing.
You just hold your end of the bargain.
Look, you could drive down the street with a bear in your hand.
You can have alcohol while you're driving. You ain't got to have your seatbelt on. No, that's real freedom.
That's what I like it.
Not that I'm saying I recommend it, but that is true. That is true freedom.
Like I get to the end of the driveway, like, oh, do I got my seatbelt on? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now I still put my seatbelt on because it just in me to do it. And I tell my wife, this is what we're gonna practice. We're gonna practice doing the seatbelt thing.
And signals.
I still put my signals on and not because it's in me. You know what I'm saying? It's in me. So I'm not gonna just go now. I do every now and then I do pop a beer, drive down because I'm like, damn, this kind of different,
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, that's to me that is that's freedom if you ask me.
But that's a different topic. That's a different.
That's a whole different topic.
we gonna touch on all that.
Yeah.
We gonna compare the states to We gonna
So we have passed the hour, and as always, we always want to share food for thought, something on your heart. And so today we got special guest, Mr. Rockstar.
Okay. So closing topic on marriage or all together. I'm gonna just put it all in one.
Whatever you want to say, brother. I'm
putting it all in one, man. Family is a very beautiful thing, I think, personally.
It is.
But it's gonna take. I think us as men already kind of like have that understanding, but CON conspiracy has messed it all up for us as a black people, in my opinion. And I think that we, from both sides, not just the woman, from both sides, men and women need to sit down and have a genuine conversation, because how it's rough for us out here as men, it's rough for the sisters too, you know. And I think we just had a conversation with Dr. Phil in the middle, or Oprah Winfrey, or something like that, a mediator, should I say, to tell you when you're right and when you're wrong. I think we could work some things out. I mean, I could be wrong, you know. I'm just country boy, truck driving, you know. I don't really know nothing about all that there. But you know, we just basically had, I feel, if we had an understanding, we could get farther on in the family chain, like it should be, you know. Come through the door and be happy, you know.
Okay.
Kiss your
Where
kids.
Where you from?
College Park.
College Park. Okay.
Yeah. Kiss your kids, kiss the wife, rub the dog, you know. Baby, you got everything you need, you know. You know what I'm talking about. Love. Black love is a beautiful thing, you know. Love, period.
What you got, Brother Clay?
I'm gonna say appreciate you, Rock, coming through. First
Thank
time,
you,
but you know, you family. People hit that like, subscribe, share, do all that. I'm gonna just say, you know, my conversation with that young man the other day really just kind of it stuck with me, man. It really did, because
That was deep.
yeah, it was deep, because I'm like, damn, if we talking about community, we talking about building family, then if he's not trying to have that conversation, I mean, he's not trying to have kids and get married or whatever. I'm like, damn, what do our future look like for our people?
Right.
And I'm like, but listen, brother. I told him, I said, get on your purpose, man. Get on your purpose. I told him exactly what he need to do as far as to find a woman, you know, that he, you know, need, a woman that, you know, that would actually he will benefit from, and focus on that. If she's not focused on those things, if you can't find out, you know, who she look up to, who her role models are, something like that, and follow that path, that's where you could start. I said, then, brother, date outside the country, man. I mean, it's nothing wrong with dating outside the country, because at the end of the day, if as a black man, if he have a baby from, I don't care what race, it's gonna be black babies. So we still got a black community. That's all I focus on. I don't give a damn who you marry, a blue woman, a green woman, or a woman marry a blue man, a green man. That baby coming out black. Goddamn baby. That baby gonna come out black. So that helps our community. So on that note, that's all I got.
All right. I just want to well, first I'm going to spell on the sister Simpson. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. Sisters have it hard.
They do.
But let me explain something though. And in order for things to get better, sisters gonna have to change their mindset. They're gonna have to. They have to stop thinking that they're entitled to certain things. They have to start being realistic. Stop putting themselves in bad situations. Stop making poor choices. You know, because she said, "Here we go." I'm not bashing. I'm not bashing. I'm listen. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help. Listen to me. I'm trying to help. I'm not trying to.
Hey, Daniel, before you close out, finish what you're saying. I got one thing to say.
Okay. I'm not trying to bash. Listen to me. And sister, listen, Sister Yolanda, please listen to me. You next time you go out in public setting, just sit back and just look how other women that are non-black, look how they move, and then look how our sisters move. It's totally different.
Pookie and Ray Ray get treated real good.
They gotta stop moving so aggressive. Stop talking so aggressive. Stop being so masculine. Insert. I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all. So I want to be clear about that because I know how we get sensitive about the situation. I'm saying if you want things to be better, we have to change the way we move, change the way we think. We have to, if you want that masculine energy, you have to exemplify your feminine energy. You have to. But if you coming out there in the public with your masculine energy, you can't attract a masculine man. It's not going to work.
You're gonna attract a
I'm
feminine man.
trying to help.
You're gonna
You
attract.
pushing him away. You push him away before y'all even got into conversation.
You're gonna attract the feminine man. You are.
I'm trying to help. Listen to me. I'm trying to help.
So,
And who talking?
So-
Somebody talking?
no, yeah. So, like,
Hold on.
okay.
let me-
Well, yeah, finish. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right, man. All right, man. I don't want to kill the sum of your ass. Let me finish this.
Don't do it.
All right, man. Let me. I'll let you. Hey, you'll take the mic, and I'm like, God damn, somebody talking. I'm trying to help the situation. I'm trying to be part of the solution. I'm not trying to bash. I'm not trying to throw salt or anything. I want sisters to win because guess what? If you win, we win. But you got to understand, like I said, just sit back and observe. And if you come back and then you could do the next show, just say, well, no, we on point, whatever the case may be. You tell me, say, hey, well, us sisters, we on point. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Bring
fine.
them.
We
Bring 'em.
want that because guess what? We're trying to have a communication where we're not trying to bash. We're saying what you can do to attract these men that you're looking for. We this is what we want. Because if guess what? If they get together, they produce family, we build communities. So yeah, that's what we want.
What type of women is she referring to?
I have no earthly.
What type of women? Hold on, Rob. What type of women are you referring to, Miss Simpson? You talking about the?
I don't know.
What type of women are you referring to?
Anyway, man, let me just say this because I don't want to say like I'm not. I want to be clear. I'm trying to help the situation, but again, you do not ignore the fact that a lot of these sisters are moving aggressively. They're talking masculine. They're thinking they're entitled to a certain lifestyle. They're not being realistic about what type of guy they can have. They overlooking the guy that's right there in their face.
And the thing is, Dan, they're complaining about because most black men are coming from single family households. So she said these women that are so aggressive.
Yeah.
Miss Yolanda, you could just go on YouTube and just hit.
She could do the McDonald thing. That was the biggest thing that went viral lately. This woman, she was so masculine.
What happened?
Yeah.
Mike about bring him on.
Mike, we're gonna have to do it. We have to do another show. We're trying to bring this thing.
But this is what I was saying, Daniel. This is what I was saying, Daniel.
Hold on, there we go. That she's saying title, yeah. Because okay, for example, I have heard women on these platforms talking about what they expect from a guy, how much he need, what he could do for them, da 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 da. Everything, most of the stuff came out of their mouth was talking about some materialistic stuff, or was talking about some superficial stuff.
Miss Simpson, what do you think most women would date a man that's making $42,000 a year? Miss Simpson, do you think most women would I said most black women would date a man that makes $42,000 a year?
Here's the thing, Miss Carter. This show is open, and if y'all know anybody that want to come on the show, that's fine. And as you guys know, we all about respect over here. You know, as long as they talking, you know, they can still be. They don't have to agree with what I think. They don't have to agree with what I say.
I tell you what,
my only request is just be respectful when you come on the show.
I tell you what, What show was that, Daniel? We did with the two women, and she talked about they need to change the Bible, and that's a good example.
Yeah, we had a show. I can't remember the name of that show, but they were talking about that women run the world and women building houses, and yeah, they out here on the construction.
We don't need a man. We don't need a man.
She said she gonna rewrite the Bible because the something it's been a while since we done that show.
You really, I mean, but men don't need a woman; they want one. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, we need each other, Rock. We need each other for different reasons. We need each other for different reasons. That's not a true statement.
Right.
Like I said, I think with the problem is that we are so divided as a people, which is their goal is to distinct black men and black women, and we so blind we don't see it.
I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest problems. They're looking for status. They're looking for status. That's one of the biggest problems in our community. It's about status. What kind of car he drive? What do he do for a living? What kind of house he got? This and that. It's all about status. And most of the time they're trying to satisfy their friends. They're looking for acceptance from their friends versus them accepting them. I'm gonna say this one thing while it's fresh on my mind. I remember years ago, I was talking to one of my classmates, and we were sitting down at the bar, and she asked me, well, what a good man is it? And I told her, I said, you probably overlooked them. You just ain't paid. You probably didn't even pay them any attention. So I said,
or they were good women. They probably were good women.
She said, what did you mean by that? I said, well, because you make you have a nice career, you making a lot of some money, but the guy who may love you and may treat you right, he may be a plumber, he may be working at an apartment complex, whatever. He might be making half of what you make, but he's a good man. Or you didn't looked over the guy because of his height. He could have been 5'2", but he was a great man. But because you want him to be 6 feet, you overlooked him. You see what I'm saying? So when you do these things, how do you being superficial in your thoughts? You're gonna have to change the way you think. That's all I'm saying.
So Miss Simpson, Miss Simpson, do me and Daniel this favor. Invite the women that you're referring to, the loving women on the show.
Good.
Invite these women. Huh?
That was good, Cleve. I said that's good.
What?
That was a good one. You know what you're saying? That's perfect.
Invite these women, these loving women, all these good women that you're referring to. Invite them on the show and let's have this conversation. Because if we know good men and y'all know good women, guess what? They're gonna see each other on this podcast. So I tell you what, invite those women that you're referring to. And if you don't, that's gonna make me think that you don't know these women that you say you know. Invite these women.
And if they serious, they don't mind coming on here.
Yes, and if they serious, because Miss Simpson, you're gonna be the mediator, because you know what me and Dan you bring to this podcast. You know the type of men we are, and you know we're not gonna try to steer no one wrong. So invite these women that you're referring to, because you said there's a lot of them. You know a lot of them. All right, invite them on here.
Yeah, we are here. That's a great suggestion, Cleve. That was perfectly said, my brother. Right. Okay. Now, you said you want to say one more thing, Cleve, and then I'm gonna try to close the thing out.
No, I just was gonna say that the men that these women complain about, these are the men that they're raising. They're raising these men to be this way. Yeah. That's all I was gonna say. Yeah. Because most of these men are single. Come from single parent household.
Right. Hey, can I tell y'all a story real quick?
No, next time. Next time. My wife, I got family.
And my wife cooking and all that. Anyway, press the like button, share, subscribe. And again, I just want y'all sisters to know I'm not against you. I'm for you. I want you to win, because if you win, our community win. We cannot have a community without you. And guess what? We cannot have a community without us. We need each other. On that note, we out.
Peace.